confidential place to find help for mental health concerns. We are ready for your call. We are proud to work with military personnel and their families. Our doctor, Dr. J. Patrick Bertroche, provides a full range of psychiatric services for children, adolescents, and adults in a forthright and informative manner while maintaining a casual, comfortable, and relaxed atmosphere. Our licensed mental health therapists provide individual counseling to children, adolescents, and adults, including couples and marital counseling. Visit our website at bertrocheandassociates.com for more information or call 515-334-9484. Our offices are located at 5525 Meredith Drive in Des Moines, just east of Skate North off Merle Hay Road. Isn't it time to talk to someone? Take care of yourself and your family. Contact Bertroche and Associates.
Oh. Well, everybody, this is the portion of the show where I say, let's talk about the Iran nuclear deal. Every time I get caught with my hand in the cookie jar looking nonchalant or casting off witticisms, or not listening to Maddie when she gives the countdown, that's how it works. We talk about the Iran nuclear deal. So hopefully when we're doing this show 10 years from now, there'll be an Iran nuclear crisis that I can slough off when these sorts of things happen. So, Doc, you hate it. Why do you hate it?
Hate the Iran deal?
Yeah, you hate the Iran deal.
Well, I will tell you why. Because of all the goals that we set it out for in this thing 2 years ago with Barack Obama, we have achieved none of them. None of them. Now, our goal is...
What goals were there?
The goal is to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon.
That goal has been achieved.
Period. It has not been achieved.
Yes, it has been.
All they
What's
have
the
to
next
do is
goal?
Well, you got to let me finish on this one. You can't say, oh, geez, it's been achieved. It hasn't been achieved. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in the worst case scenario, they just wait 10 years and then they can develop it then. Number two, there's nothing out there in this agreement that says that the military nuclear facilities and the secret hidden facilities, any facilities might crop up that have not been declared, are going to be inspected. The IAEA, which is the International Atomic Energy Agency, is not allowed to make spot inspections of these facilities. They can press for it, but if the Iranians say, no, there's nothing the IAEA can do about it. The penalties are so minuscule that if I was the Iranians, I'd go, yeah, I'd just pay the penalty. So what? Number two, apparently this deal is set up so that the Iranians can develop a nuclear bomb in 1 year instead of 3 months. That still means they have the ability to do that. Three, the other thing is they're going to be getting rid. They're not allowed to keep their enriched uranium and all the they're required to sell it. Well, the problem is they can sell it to other countries and get more enriched uranium in, which is one of the problems they're having. Not enriched, but regular uranium. That's one of the problems they're having because their uranium mines are close to exhaustion. They can't produce it in country, so allowing them to trade it for more uranium to come in is only solving a problem for them. The last thing, and this is the more important part, if you have your allies, mainly Saudi Arabia in this case, because we obviously know Israel isn't going to go for any kind of... But Saudi Arabia in this case is saying, well, we may be turning to the Russians and the Chinese in order to maintain our security posture. Nobody wants a nuclear Iran, and this agreement doesn't do anything to stop it. There's nothing to stop it. With the additional bonus of they have these very small goals they have to meet, and then we're going to release $100 billion back to them in sanctions. So they're going to have these giant reactors that can still produce this uranium, even though they've sworn they're going to take them down. They still have $100 billion now to go fool around, develop it, and become a nuclear power.
Take it away. It's fascinating how well you negotiate And yet, in this instance, you seem to not really understand how negotiations work. It fascinates me. And it fascinates me that all Republicans are like that. All of you are in lockstep with, you have three, I bet that's Joe. I'll get to you, Joe, in a second. You guys have three options. No deal.
You are right.
No deal, which means that they will get a nuclear weapon. That's what that means. You walk away, you increase sanctions. The European partners, they bail on it. They increase money for Russia. They get money from China. Everyone walks away from the deal, and the Iran says, you know what? Never mind. We're going to increase production, which is what they've been doing since 2002. 2, you get war. Okay, great. Everybody says that war with Iran would be terrible. It would be a disaster, worse than Iraq. 3, you get a deal that increases the breakout time from 2 months to a year, which gives plenty of time for the international observers and the IAEA, whoever it is that's going to be in there, plenty of time to say, oh, so you are doing what you agreed not to do, which is develop a nuclear weapon, plus the extra months it takes to actually be able to weaponize it. Well, now we have the Iranians they agreed to the snapback provisions, which means, well, now you're in huge trouble. The military option to go after these folks is never taken off the table. The idea that we can just say that because we didn't get everything in a negotiation and they got 1 or 2 things, and that means the deal is terrible. That's not how it works. We need to do something. This deal is not perfect by any means but it's realistic. It makes the pragmatic point that, hey, your American power, contrary to popular Republican conservative belief, American power is not limitless. We just fought 2 wars. We're stretched beyond belief. We have very few resources to go to war with Iran, which will inevitably push them to develop a nuclear weapon. If we declare war on Iran, we go in, they're going after a nuclear bomb, they're getting something from Russia, they're getting something from Pakistan. That's what will happen. So this deal maintains the peace. It absolutely does.
Well, here's what the problem is, and so did Chamberlain's thing.
For crying out loud, it's not even the same. It's not even close to the same. No, it's not even close to the same.
You're taking people that are belligerents, that are a known terror state, that has made it its sole goal to wipe out Israel from the face of the earth. And the weekend before this deal, before this deal is struck, the weekend before, they hold their annual, let's wipe U.S. and Israel off the face of the planet.
They could have invaded Israel time after time after time. They don't need a nuclear weapon to do that.
They had to go through Iraq. Do you understand? I mean, do you have a map of the Middle East for us, Maddie? The Middle West. I mean, it would be like this, saying, well, geez, Illinois hates Colorado. They could have invaded Colorado any time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, except they had to
Except that Iraq is not a country anymore. Iraq's not a country anymore, thanks to us.
Well, and that's the other thing. We had our troops there, and they would have gone through us. The bottom line is, here's 2 other things that are bad about this deal. 1, it doesn't restrict their ability to get ICBMs. In fact, it enhances that ability. And 2, we've released the conventional weapon restrictions on them in this deal. So now they can trade with anybody. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand Iran is fighting ISIS over there through the Iraqis. I get that. But whenever you have your core allies going, hold on, we've just discovered we can't count on our allies, the Americans, that creates a problem for us worldwide.
More sanctions equal a bomb, or war equals a bomb. What is your third option? What would satisfy you?
We don't have to have a war with them. We don't have to declare war on them. We don't actually have to have more sanctions, because as we've talked, and my position is, sanctions don't work. You know,
so what do we do?
Cyber stuff. Stuxnet. We did Stuxnet. Everybody knows it. We just don't admit it. We're the ones that shut them down, right? That's the stuff we can do. They can't just go out and develop their own chips and everything. Well, they can from Syria, but they're nowhere near as advanced as what we have, and that's what they need. The bottom line is that you're right. They have proliferated their nuclear capability. They have, 5,000 reactors, something like that. Pakistan only needed 3,000 to be able to develop a bomb within, a year or 2 or something like that. The bottom line is this is a bad deal for the Middle East. It's a bad deal for Saudi Arabia. It's a bad deal for Israel. It's a bad deal for us. It's only a good deal for the Iranians, the Chinese, and the Russians.
The Iranians hate it too, though. The hardliners hate it because they have to do stuff. They didn't want to let inspectors in. They didn't want to give up any of the reactors. They're taking 97% of the reactors offline. The facility,
supposedly, but we don't have a way to verify any of that.
The heavy water research. I mean, of course we do. That's what the inspections are all about. They have no
they don't
sunset provision.
They don't let them in.
Well, let's see if it happens.
They've already had it. It's
in 2002, and when George Bush pulled the deal off the table in 2002, that's when all this bull crap started.
No,
that's when it started with this whole we're going to kick the inspectors out, whatever, because George Bush came to the table and says we're not going to do anything. Sanctions, pony up. Tried to be a cowboy and made the whole thing worse.
We're going to be back, and we're going to talk about how wrong Lefty is right after this break. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back right after this.